Picture this. The single most ordinary object in your home was once so rare and expensive that people held light bulb parties just to show off they owned one. The humble bulb wasn't just technology, it was a status symbol. Before the bulb, night belonged to fire. Candles flickered, oil lamps smoked. Gas lights glowed along city streets, beautiful and dangerous at the same time. Light came with a risk. Homes burned, cities caught fire. So inventors began chasing a strange idea. What if we could make light without flame? The first breakthrough came in the early 1800s, when Humphry Davy showed that electricity could create brilliant light using an electric arc. It looked like bottled lightning. Stunning to see, completely impractical for everyday life. You didn't turn it on. You survived being near it. The real challenge became incandescence, heating a tiny material until it glowed. The problem was cruelly simple. Heat anything in air and it burns away. So the true invention wasn't just the filament. It was the sealed glass world around it. By the mid-1800s, inventors across Europe and America were racing toward a working bulb. In Britain, Joseph Swan demonstrated early incandescent lamps in public halls and homes. Across the Atlantic, Thomas Edison took a different approach. He didn't just want a bulb, he wanted a system. Edison's lab tested thousands of filament materials: cotton, bamboo, carbonized fibers. Some glowed, most failed. But Edison realized something bigger than the bulb itself. Light needed power stations, wiring, switches, meters, a network that could feed homes and streets. The bulb was only the visible tip of an invisible electrical world. This sparked fierce rivalries and patent battles. Credit was argued, lawsuits were filed. History rarely has clean heroes. Progress often looks more like a crowded workshop full of brilliant people stepping on each other's toes. Then came the metal that changed everything: tungsten. With a melting point high enough to survive intense heat, tungsten filaments made bulbs brighter, stronger, and far longer lasting. Electric light finally became practical for everyday life. Not a luxury, not a novelty, a normal part of the night. But a bulb is useless without power, and this is where another quiet revolution was happening. Nikola Tesla and others helped push alternating current systems that could send electricity over long distances. This meant power plants could light entire cities, not just single buildings. Night stopped being local. It became global. By the early 1900s, electric light reshaped the world. Factories ran later. Streets became safer. Theaters glowed. Homes stayed awake. The human day quietly stretched longer than it had ever been in history. Still, the classic incandescent bulb had a secret flaw. Most of its energy became heat, not light. It was a tiny glowing heater that happened to shine. So the next chapter focused on efficiency. Fluorescent lighting took over offices and schools. Instead of a hot filament, it used gas and glowing coatings to create light. Brighter, cooler, longer lasting. It also gave the world that unmistakable hospital hallway atmosphere. Then came the modern leap, the LED. The light-emitting diode doesn't burn or glow hot. It moves electrons through a semiconductor and releases light directly. Less waste, long life, massive efficiency. That's why today's bulbs last for years instead of months. The final twist is almost poetic. The light bulb is no longer just light, it's a computer. Smart bulbs change color, dim on command, run schedules, and connect to your phone. We went from fearing house fires to updating our lamps with software. So the real evolution isn't just glass and wire, it's how humans rewrote the night. Work, safety, cities, entertainment, and even sleep patterns changed because darkness lost its power to decide when the day ends. The next time you flip a switch, remember, you're not using one invention. You're using centuries of experiments, rivalries, breakthroughs, and quiet brilliance glowing inside a small glass shell. If you could send one modern light back in time, what would you choose? An LED bulb, a flashlight, or a solar lantern? And what moment in history would you use it in? Thanks for watching. And if you enjoy strange histories hiding inside everyday objects, we would love for you to subscribe.